Ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome at this special program of V News English with a very special guest who is joining today to discuss a very important event which is unfolding right now in Bishkek, Central Asia. Excellency, very warm welcome on this special program. Thank you for sparing time for V News English. We are hearing some very disturbing news, primarily on social media, but also being covered in a number of international forums and channels regarding what's going on in Kyrgyzstan and Bishkek. So, what actually happened there?
I would not go into the politics and political developments in Kyrgyzstan. What I am particularly concerned about is what happened on Friday night. On Friday night, there was a mob that was targeting foreign nationals, especially foreign students. They ransacked the hostels of international students. And Pakistan is deeply concerned about this situation because we have a large number of Pakistani students living in Bishkek, including in the hostels that came under attack. And we saw that they were uncontrolled. And as a result of their ransacking and their attacks, a number of individuals were hurt, some of them Pakistanis. But while this was all ongoing, the social media was feeding into the fears of the students and their families and putting up videos none of us knew were true or not. So our first priority was to check the veracity of these videos and to ensure the safety and security of Pakistani nationals.
So, if I can briefly stop you here to elaborate two aspects of what you just said further. First, that from what you have said, it seems that what was happening in Bishkek was not something specific to Pakistani students, and I believe Bishkek is a very favored destination for those students who want to have quality and affordable medical education, which includes Indians, Bengalis, and other countries as well. So, is it correct that what was being done to the foreign students was not something particular to Pakistan? And secondly, the role of social media, I want you to elaborate that a bit as well. Is it something that was being done from Pakistani social media, from the Kyrgyz social media, or who were primarily more interested in exploiting and promoting this narrative?
You know, the problem with social media is that it is difficult to find out who is behind the first video that is being propagated. And we were concerned because these videos were reaching the students who were already afraid for their lives because they could see their hostels being ransacked and their friends being attacked. And at the same time, their families were concerned because there were all kinds of videos and messages which were circulating. There were reports that there have been some deaths. There were reports that women were being raped. And these are very scary news for any student or their families. And of course, it was a concern for the government of Pakistan.
So it means that the timing and the nature of these social media reports added fuel to fire and further instigated and sort of added to the insecurity of the Pakistani students and to their concern. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Actually, you know, the attack itself was very traumatizing.
I'm sure.
And it was something that they were not expecting. The students and Pakistani workers who live in Bishkek, they were all concerned about what was going on. At the same time, when such videos started circulating, it really added to the insecurity. It really added to the concerns of these individuals and their families. So it was surely something that brings attention uh, to the dangers of sharing information without confirmation, and it became kind of a reality for these people who were sitting inside their hostels, barricaded, trying to protect themselves. They didn't know what was going on outside, so they were relying on social media. So it is not their fault that they fell prey to this these fake news, but the atmosphere was such that it added to their perception about what was going on.
So before I come to what Pakistan Embassy did, you being an eminent and a preeminent diplomat of Pakistani Foreign Service, would perhaps like to share briefly what is the nature of relationship that Pakistani mission maintains with our students generally, but also in particular in Kyrgyzstan, so that we understand how they communicate and interact, and whenever something untoward happens, what are they expected to do?
Our missions, wherever they are under instructions to look after the welfare of the Pakistani diaspora, especially Pakistani citizens. And in that respect, they remain in contact with the Pakistanis and provide them with consular services. Under Pakistani law, every foreigner who visits to a particular country, any Pakistani, when they visit any particular country, they must register with the Embassy of Pakistan. But unfortunately, not many people do that. So as a result, the embassy does not always have complete picture of how many Pakistanis are living in a particular area, and their telephone numbers and addresses. And in cases of emergency, our first job is to collect that information. And usually people start calling our embassies. And that was the case here as well. They called the embassy, they called the emergency numbers of the embassy, but also the emergency numbers of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, shared their information with us. And then we got a better picture of who was where and what kind of challenges they were facing.
So around how many students of Pakistani origin are studying in Kyrgyzstan and Bishkek in particular?
We have about 10,000 students in Kyrgyzstan and about 6,000 of them in Bishkek.
Okay.
These are estimated numbers.
So in your assessment, how many of these students were directly or indirectly affected by this, insecurity and this situation which unfolded on Friday night?
According to our estimates, it was mostly those who were living in the hostels. But since the atmosphere in the city was such that those who were living outside in private housing, they were also affected. Some of them were affected. So those who were, I would say, in danger was around 3,000 or so. Some of them lived in areas far from the action, but around 3,000 were in the danger zone.
Okay. So now, if you can briefly, for the benefit of our viewers, share what is the plan of Pakistan in terms of reaching out, engaging, securing, providing medical help, or to those who want to, be repatriated. So, what is the plan?
Our first priority since Friday has been to ensure the safety and security of Pakistani nationals in Bishkek. And for that, the Embassy of Pakistan and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs have been in regular communication with the Kyrgyz authorities. And in that respect, in our messaging, we have expressed our serious concern and anguish at the at the attacks that took place, the threat to safety of our nationals. We have asked them for providing security to them. One of our immediate concerns were to confirm the social media rumors about murders and rapes and so on, which were thankfully proven to be incorrect. So that was our first response and first priority. At that time, we also asked Pakistani nationals to stay indoors, not to go outside, because the situation outside was very dangerous for them. So our second action was to provide relief to Pakistanis and to speak to them, those who were afraid, those who needed any assistance, those who needed medical attention. According to our information, there were many individuals who did get first aid.
Around how many needed first aid?
First aid, those who reached hospital were different to those who got first aid from their university or did that themselves. Those who reached university those who reached the hospitals, they were not many. Those are who are, but while they were doing it, the Kyrgyz authorities, not everyone was being registered in terms of their nationality. So we do not have an exact figure how many actually got the first aid and were discharged. Those who are still in hospital, that is a handful, about 6-7 individuals still remain hospitalized. The rest have been basically discharged after provision of first aid. The numbers that we have are in a couple of dozens, but these may not be final figures of those who received first aid. These figures are being collected through various sources.
I'm aware Pakistani ambassador there also visited the hostels and the hospitals. What is his assessment and feedback?
Yeah, our ambassador has been doing a very good job in a very difficult situation.
And it's a small mission, I
It's a very small
How many
mission.
people are there?
There are 2 diplomats.
Okay, in the entire mission?
In the entire mission, one ambassador and another diplomat, plus some secretarial staff who are assisting the ambassador. And since Friday, they did not have any break. I would doubt they even have slept in these 2 days. And they have been working round the clock. I know because I have been myself calling them, and I've been receiving reports from them on a regular basis. The ambassador has visited some hospitals and some hostels. Ambassador and his team have visited. Some have been visited by the number 2, our counselor there, and some by the ambassador. They have divided. They are still trying to cover all the areas. The ambassador has also been meeting with with the Kyrgyz authorities. He has met the deputy foreign minister 2 times since Friday, one yesterday, one today. And in all these meetings, he has been emphasizing the importance of providing security and providing relief to Pakistanis living in the Kyrgyz Republic. Another important point that we must remember is that the government of Pakistan, the Prime Minister himself, and the Deputy Prime Minister, they have been in regular contact with the ambassador and giving him directions with regards to the relief for the people.
So a very important question for our viewers I must ask, what help specifically is Pakistani embassy offering to the Pakistani students there right now? If I were to be an affectee or person who is really concerned, what should he expect from Pakistan embassy?
Okay, it really depends. We are receiving a large number of telephone calls on the helplines. Initial calls were about the safety and security of these people. There were families trying to contact their loved ones from Pakistan, so trying to connect with them. There were individuals, the students, who were trying to share with us their ordeal. So that was the first phase where this information was coming. The second phase has been in terms of individuals who would like to return home. They return to Pakistan, as there are many who need assurances that when they go outside to the airport, it would be safe enough for them to travel all the way to the airport, to Bishkek airport, and then come back. So many of these calls have been to make sure that they have a safe passage. And we have come to realize that since yesterday, because a special flight, a regular flight has come in, we have come to realize that now Bishkek is safe and individuals can travel on their own all the way to the airport. Uh, there is another layer of telephone calls and requests that is regarding individuals who need help with bookings of flights. And now that the Prime Minister has announced that a special plane would go and bring these individuals back, in that respect as well, there will be there has been some communication with individuals who are interested in coming, and lists are being compiled to ensure that those interested in coming back are facilitated.
So that I just want you to clarify around how many students have approached our mission in Bishkek, specifically for assistance and repatriation. And do you have any assessment?
I do not have the figures, because these figures are changing every hour.
Yes.
That's number one. Number two, what we have seen is that there are two categories of students. There are some whose parents have told them to come back because they are concerned about their security. They want to leave immediately. There are others who are in their final exams, and they want to go at maybe after their exams. There are others who wish the embassy to help them talk to their universities that their exams can be taken online, and embassy has been working with the embassies, with their universities, to ensure that some kind of facilitation is given in that particular aspect. And some universities have already agreed that they will conduct online exams for these students.
So that brings me to the last question, that in your assessment, how soon is this situation likely to subside? Because obviously, as I earlier asked you about the plan, because these repatriation flights are being arranged, so do you expect that this is going to be one-off thing, or you'll monitor the situation and arrange accordingly, or you just have a plan that, okay, one or two flights will be run every day? So what's the plan, and any specific message that through this digital broadcast you want to share to assure and to guide Pakistanis stranded there in Bishkek? What should they do?
Number one, what I would like to say is that the government of Pakistan is very concerned about the safety and security of Pakistanis. So we will be making our assessments on a daily basis. about the situation in Bishkek and Kyrgyzstan in general. Secondly, we will be ensuring that our students and workers, whoever they are in in Kyrgyzstan, have complete knowledge of our plans. And we will also be working with them to see what is in their best interest. There are many students who do not wish to return because they believe that it is in their uh, interest to continue their education. Their education is at a critical stage. They do not wish to leave. So we will be working to make their stay in Kyrgyzstan very comfortable. And as far as the message is concerned, our message to the Pakistani public and their families is that trust your embassy, trust the government of Pakistan. Your security and your safety is critically important for the government of Pakistan, and we will do everything in our power to ensure their safety and to facilitate their stay in Bishkek.
Ambassador, thank you so much for sparing time and a very timely message to clarify a lot of rumors which are circulating in social media. So this is a special broadcast, particularly aimed at removing a lot of misperceptions and also reaching out to our students in Bishkek that they need to remain in touch with the embassy, trust them, follow their advice and guidance, and do not become victim to any misperceptions, fake news, and propaganda. Thank you so much for joining us. Keep watching V English News. This was a special broadcast. Thank you so much.